Avoiding pitfalls with set aside in English. Hello, language learners. Today, we're going to discuss a common English phrasal verb, set aside. It's widely used in both casual and formal English. However, learners sometimes make certain mistakes when using this phrasal verb. Don't worry, though, we'll be exploring these common mistakes and, more importantly, learning how to avoid them. Before we jump into the mistakes, let's ensure we all know what set aside means. Set aside typically means to reserve something for a specific purpose. It can also mean to put something away or aside, either physically or figuratively. For example, 1. I set aside some time to study English every day. 2. The judge set aside the previous ruling. Now, let's talk about the common mistakes. Many learners sometimes confuse set aside with other phrasal verbs that have set in them, like set up, set out, or set back. These all have very different meanings. Another common mistake is using set aside in the wrong context. Remember, set aside often involves reserving something or putting something away. Using set aside when you mean begin or start, which would be set out, leads to confusion. Lastly, some learners mix up the word order, saying aside set instead of set aside. In English, the verb usually comes before the preposition in phrasal verbs. Now that we know the common mistakes, let's learn how to avoid them. 1. Differentiate between set phrasal verbs. Practice using each set phrasal verb in different sentences. This will help you understand the different contexts in which they're used. 2. Use set aside in the right context. Remember, set aside is about reservation or moving something out of the way. Try to use it in sentences with this context to reinforce your understanding. 3. Keep the word order correct. Practicing the correct order, set aside, will help it become second nature. Repeat phrases and sentences using set aside to build this habit. And there you have it. Remember, mistakes are part of the learning journey. By understanding and recognizing these common mistakes with set aside, you're already on your way to becoming a more proficient English speaker. Keep practicing, and soon, set aside will feel natural to use in your conversations. Happy learning, and see you in the next video.